Hey guys, it's Nolan from Trade and Train. This is our final video of the week. We hope you've had a good week and been able to make yourself some pips. Okay, so this is our kind of final update. Let's have a look. We were looking at potential dollar strength coming in because we've seen this change of, because of seasonality first of all. On average this time of year we normally see dollar index strong, make moves to the upside, but you can actually see here on the daily chart there's this momentum downwards, this kind of downtrend. We have this big move down here and then that price started to slow down, but it was still in the downtrend, and then can you see that then price started to make this new high here compared to this high where it was making these lower highs. High, lower high, lower high, and all of a sudden we get this higher high and we get this change of momentum. Okay, we get an uptrend going on. So we've had an impulse correction, and now we're looking for that next impulse. So are we getting it is the question. Well, let's just go down into the 4 hour, because that's really what we were looking for this week. We're looking for those dollar buys. So, and you can see what we've had is actually an inverse head and shoulder pattern with your left shoulder here, right head here, and right shoulder here. Now an inverse head and shoulder, just a fancy name for a change of cycle. A low, lower low, and a higher low. So it's basically showing us that it's basically reversal from sellers into buyers. So this is a very, very good indication now that we are seeing those dollar bulls come into the market. If we just drop down to the hourly, let's zoom out a little bit. Let's we'd had this neckline here. It's called the neckline of the inverse head and shoulders. You can see it acts as a resistance. One touch there, two touch, three touch with your left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Now we've broken out the textbook way to trade and a head and shoulders or an inverse head and shoulders is the break of the neckline. This is the neckline. And the retest, and then look for a rejection. So if we zoom in, we've actually broken out and we are retesting the neckline, or we have done. This is potentially the rejection, potentially a morning star pattern. A morning star pattern is a 3-bar pattern looking from sellers turning into buyers. Now this candle's still moving. Okay, it's just gone to 2:13 in the afternoon here in the UK. So this candle's still moving. Hasn't closed yet, but this potentially looks like a morning star pattern forming, and from there we would presume that that's a successful break and retest of the neckline, and we would be looking for those dollar bulls to come in now. But it is Friday afternoon, so you know Fridays can be a bit funny, obviously, because the market's going to close today for the weekend. So whether we actually see that momentum today remains to be seen. Otherwise we'll be looking at that push next week. We also have a trend line as well for this uptrend. So we've got the neckline here of the inverse head and shoulders broken, retesting, and we also have a trend line here. So price hasn't quite if I put this exactly, because we draw trend lines using tips of wicks. We haven't quite touched it there, but you know it doesn't need to. But you can see we've got a trend, haven't we? This 1 hour impulse correction. So we're looking now for that push to the upside. So that looks quite good. It looks quite positive. So the we don't trade the dollar index itself. We trade the nearest chart to the dollar index is the euro dollar, which is basically it's kind of the inverse or upside down version. So if we go to euro dollar, If we're looking for buys on the dollar index, then we'd be looking for sells on euro dollar. Yeah, and we can see, if you look closely, we can see this push to the upside. We can see price making higher highs, higher lows, and then we can see that momentum has changed, hasn't it? We've started making lower highs and lower lows. So we're actually looking for euro dollar to make a next lower high and then looking to get in. Now this looks pretty promising, I've got to admit, this formation here. Now some of you might use EMAs. I'm going to put on a 50 and a 20, and we can actually see that we've had a nice cross of the EMAs, and this is the correct order for a downtrend. You can see here this impulse down, price came into the 50 EMA here and then started to reject. Took a couple of hours and then it started to reject. Now we've had a push up past the 50 EMA, but it looks like price is what we call exhausted, or price exhaustion. It does look as though those buyers are dying out. You can see these wicks. We've come deep into the EMAs. We've seen price push up. We had a bit of a wick there. We had a big push here, but look how the candle has closed. Yeah, I suppose it's the bulls won that candle because it's white, so it actually closed higher than where it opened. But look at the candle, and we've already broken that low now. So I'm looking really for price to, like we were looking at the dollar index, to have, let's just go back to it. Looking at the dollar index to have a morning star pattern. We'll be looking at euro to have an evening star pattern. It's another 3-bar pattern reversal from buyers into sellers. So this looks quite good actually, but just remember it is Friday, and you know, anything can happen on a Friday really, as the market's closed for the weekend, especially the later it goes. But will it happen today? Not sure. Will we have to wait till next week? Probably, we'll see. But technically this looks really, really good for euro dollar to drop to the downside. Now we had a comment on yesterday's video. So, well, before I do that, so we're still looking for those dollar buys. Okay, you can watch the dollar index chart. If this pushes, you know, look to be selling euro dollar, or you know, look at your other dollar pairs to see, you know, which is the nicest chart for you to trade. We've got pound dollar. This is at the bottom of this structure here, so I'm kind of staying away from that. We've got Kiwi dollar. Got a little bit of a trend line here. I'd rather see this break, to be honest with you, and pull back and retest. Dollar CAD. Dollar CAD could be a good one. Could be a good one to buy. We can see price impulse in there, pulling back into the EMAs. But let's have a look at the hourly. Yeah, I've had a nice cross actually on the EMAs as well. So this potentially looks like the impulse correction. You'll be looking for price now to break this CTL and to start looking impulsive and start to get along there. But my particular favorite is euro dollar. A quick look at Aussie dollar actually. Aussie dollar looks nice as well. You can see that nice descending movement. Now whether price might come back, and we've got a level here actually. Have we tested it? Yeah, we have actually got that support there. So it's come on, retested that. So it's just having a little consolidation now. So this might go from here, but my personal favorite is actually euro. So me personally, and a lot of the trading train team are concentrating on this euro dollar. Yeah, so what I was saying, we had a comment on yesterday's video about the Dow. Someone's interested in the Dow. Let's find that. Now, one thing I would say about indices, and the Dow, if you don't know, is an indices or an index. The one thing I would say about indices is don't sell them. Okay, even if there was a sell setup, I would not sell an indices, because as a rule, yeah, we got this here, which was during the COVID kind of outbreak, and a lot of stuff just dropped really suddenly. But as a rule, yeah, indices go up on average. So if you go to sell indices, then you're kind of swimming upstream, if you know what I mean. Or, you know, it's just you're kind of fighting against the market. So it's always best to wait for a pullback or some selling to come in, and then look for the market to change sentiment and buyers to come in, and then go long. Okay, so that is a rule I would stick by for indices. Just look for buy setups after we've had a pullback and we start to see buyers come in again. You know, you get some kind of price confirmation that those buyers are coming in. So just looking at it right now, I've still got those 50 and the 20 EMA on. We'll just leave them on. Looking at the daily candle there, we can see that price has pulled back. Actually had a bounce off the 20 EMA on daily. Nice rejection candle there. And we're actually broken the daily high. So that's quite interesting. We've had this push. We've had a pullback, which is what we would look for. And we've started to see buyers break yesterday's daily high. So this is of interest to me to kind of look for buys at the moment. But let's have a look at the chart. Yeah, we can see we've had that impulse down, correction, impulse down, and potentially, okay, this is the start of another move up, potentially. We can see that impulse there, little 1 bar correction, impulse again. But before I start buying this, let's just take those EMAs off because I don't want to confuse matters. Okay, we've got what we call a counter trend line. Okay, because this is actually trending downwards on this time frame, isn't it? We can see it started to move downwards. So this could, in fact, it could have another move down again. You know, do something like that because we're in this downtrend or this correction of the up move. So this is just a correction on the smaller time frame. So I want to see this CTL broken, and I want to see, you know, some more higher highs, higher lows, and I'll be looking for, you know, price to break the CTL. I'll be looking for a pullback, and I'll be looking for buyers to come in again. So I'm not quite interested in buying at this moment in time, but if this CTL breaks and I can see prices continuing to move to the upside, i.e. it's not a false break, then I'd be interested in trading this on the hourly time frame. So it's almost kind of, it's nearly there, but it's not quite. It's looking interested, but I've not got the setup yet. So I need to see this breakout of here, you know, past this 28,700 level. I would suggest I'll be looking for a pullback then. Now, whether you want to use EMAs, you can do that. You know, look at these EMAs here on the hourly. You might find this useful, the 50 and the 20, for an uptrend on this hourly time frame. Okay, you'd be looking for something like this with the 20 EMA above the 50. And what you're looking for with EMAs is for those EMAs to open up and to spread out. Okay, you're looking for this nice opening. It's getting wider and wider. Price is pushing away from the EMAs. It comes back in. A lot of the times, look, it bounces off the 20 EMA. So you could even look for price to come back into the 20 EMA as a potential area to look to buy. But those EMAs are not in the right order yet. And if this breaks to the upside, breaks out of this CTL, we should see, or we will see, these EMAs cross over. We want to see them opening up, and we want to see price push away, pull back, and then buyers to come in again. So if you want to trade the Dow or any indices, personally, my recommendation is only look to buy them once they've had a decent pullback, and then look for price to show you that buyers have come back into the market. So I hope that helped you out, whoever commented on yesterday's video. So that's it from us, guys. We will back on Monday. Keep your eyes out next week for some more videos. Please like, share and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. We just reached 500 subscribers, so thank you loads for that. We really appreciate your support. If you know of any other traders that might be interested in this free info that we give out to you every week, then please share our videos, and hopefully they can find some benefit from them. We have our free masterclass tomorrow at 10 a.m. That's UK time. I will drop the link into the comments, and you can register for that. Remember, it's totally free. You're going to get some loads of free information, plus we give you a free trading strategy as well. I'll put the link into our free Telegram channel as well. So from me, guys, Nolan, and all of the Trade and Train team, we really wish you a great weekend. Have plenty of rest, enjoy yourself as much as you can in these times, and come back ready to rock and roll when our markets open on Sunday night. Guys, we're going to see you soon. Take care.